Hey, what's up, guys? I'm going to be doing week 2 of my predictions of the 2014-15 season for the NFL. Last week I did horrible. I only got, 5 out of 16 games right, which is very, very bad. So I'm hoping I'm going to do a lot better this week because, I got the feel of the teams last week. I seen what they could do. So, yeah. First game, Steelers and Ravens. Ravens just lost last week to the Bengals. Bengals is a really good team. I knew that the Ravens were going to win. Then the Steelers beat the Browns. Browns also a decent team, but not as good as the Bengals. So I'm going to have the Steelers win this game. Not by much, though. I'm going to have them win by 7 to 10 points. I'm not that good with points, but I was 100% accurate with last week's game with them against the Browns. I picked that they were going to only win by 3 points, and they did. So, this game, I know the Ravens are home, but I'm going to pick the Steelers for this game. Next game, Dolphins and Bills. Both of these teams surprised me a lot. The Dolphins beat the Patriots, and then the Bills beat Chicago. I don't know if both of these teams are real teams or they just both got lucky. So, I'm going to go with the Bills this game, if they're both real teams. But if they just got lucky, the Dolphins, I think, is still a better team. So, yeah, but with that said, I'm going to pick the Bills. Next game, Jaguars and Redskins. I picked both of these teams to win last week, and they both didn't. Jaguars were doing very good against the Eagles in the first half, and the Redskins did decent against the Texans. Nothing, crazy, but they did okay. I thought the Redskins had a way better team than the Texans, but I was wrong. The Jaguars does have a pretty good team, compared to the Eagles. They were beating them 17-0 in the first half, but then the Eagles came back and won. So I don't know if the Jaguars got lucky or if the Eagles were just sleeping. I don't know. But for this game, I'm going to pick the Jaguars to win. Next game, the Cowboys and Titans. Cowboys pretty much got dominated the very first half against San Francisco, but they caught up a tiny bit. It wasn't as much as a blowout, but, they still got beat by a lot. Tony Romo threw, 3 picks. And the Titans surprised me a lot with beating the Chiefs. I thought the Chiefs still had a good team, but I was wrong. The Titans played better football, and they won. So, for this game, I'm going to pick the Titans. They are home. Cowboys don't really have good defense. With the look of it, Titans had a pretty good offense, and defense was okay. So, yeah. And side note, Jamal Charles didn't really do all that great at all against their defense. I don't know if he ran a lot. I didn't watch the game. But, yeah, the Titans did very good. So, I'm going to pick the Titans for this game. Next game is Cardinals and Giants. As you know, my Chargers did horrible in the fourth quarter. That game was ours. And the Cardinals took advantage of how we were playing. Came back and won with a crazy upset against the Chargers. We choked. The Chargers choked. We do it almost every single first game since last year for sure. We were beating the Texans. One of the Texans' only wins, man, mind you. Yes, I know it's kind of sad, but we were beating the Texans 28-0 going into the second half or something like that. And they came back at the end with 31-28 with 31 points unanswered. That's crazy. I don't know. So for this game, with the way the Giants played against the Lions, they did horrible. I thought the Giants were going to win because how they were playing the preseason, but I was wrong. So, yes, the Giants are home, but I am going to pick the Cardinals to win this game. Their defense is still really good, especially because they're going to have one of their best players back. And also, their offense is very high-powered. So, I'm going to pick the Cardinals to win this game. Next game, the Patriots and the Vikings. The Vikings, I believe won last week. Hold on one second. Yes, the Vikings did win against the Rams. I thought the Rams were going to have a really good team, but their second string quarterback got injured, so the third string had to come in and play the rest of the game. The Rams didn't really do anything too great, and one of their best players, I think, NFL Network said that's out for the season, out for like 8 games. So that's not good at all for the Rams. But for this game, Patriots and Vikings. Vikings had a pretty decent running game. The Patriots, their defense did horrible at the end. I watched a little bit of the game, not too much, but their defense didn't really do all that great at the end. But their offense also didn't do all that great at the end either. And the Vikings, they played decent football throughout the game, what I've seen. So for this game, I think the Vikings are going to win this game. I don't know, the Patriots didn't really stand out to me compared to the other teams, compared to the Dolphins, actually. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Vikings for this game. Next game, the Saints and the Browns. I was shocked the Falcons beat the Saints. I honestly thought the Falcons were going to lose that game. The Saints seemed like a whole lot better team. But I was wrong. The Browns, like I said last week, their defense is okay, but the offense isn't really all that great. So for this game, I know the Browns are home, but I'm going to pick the Saints to win this game. I don't see the Browns really doing anything this game. I think the Browns will score, a couple touchdowns, maybe. I'd say maybe 17 points tops, but I think the Saints are going to beat them by a couple touchdowns and maybe a field goal at the end. But like I said, not really good with points, but that's just what I think. Next game is Falcons and Bengals. This is going to be, I say, a pretty close game. I don't really see these two teams playing that often against each other, so it's going to be a good game when it comes to that also, because they're not really familiar with each other's team. Falcons did a very good job against the Saints, and the Bengals did a pretty good job against the Ravens. So I think the Falcons are going to make a comeback this year with the way they were playing it. It was great. It was very good football. Matt Ryan threw like over 400 yards, and in his very first game, I don't even think that he threw that close to that much last year. So that's very good. He played very, very good football. So with that said, I'm going to go with the Falcons for this game. I think it might be a close game, but the Falcons are going to pull out the win. Lions and Panthers. Lions pretty much dominated the Giants, and the Panthers beat the Bucks at the Bucks home. The Bucks were going to be a very good team, pretty good team, especially at home. But of course, I was wrong with a lot of teams. So yeah. With that said, the Bucks still did pretty good. The Rams, like I said, I don't know if their second string quarterback's in, but they didn't do nothing. I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers this game. Or whoa. Hold on. I completely switched. My bad. So Lions and Panthers. I don't know what I was thinking. I think the Lions will win this game because the Panthers didn't do all that great at the Bucks home. So I'm gonna go with the Lions that game. Wow, I switched games quick. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyways, so yeah, Rams and Buccaneers. I already talked about that. Like I said, Buccaneers. So yeah, I'm gonna pick the Buccaneers for that game. And again, the Lions versus Panthers, I am picking the Lions, and then the Rams and Buccaneers, I am picking the Bucks. Next game, I'm sorry to say, Seahawks, yeah, in San Diego, but my Chargers didn't do nothing. I'm very disappointed in them with their performance in the fourth quarter. Our secondary seems okay. We were doing some pretty good plays. I'm not saying that we got slaughtered throughout the whole entire game. We didn't. We played very good football defensively, but in crucial situations we made mistakes. That's what pretty much cost us the game. We were up 17-6, and we let them come back and score and beat us. I don't know. I'm very disappointed in that game. So yeah, and the Seahawks, they pretty much slaughtered. I'm not gonna say slaughtered because it wasn't that bad, but they beat the Packers, Packers is a very, very good team. Yeah, it was in Seattle, but still, I think the Seahawks are going to. I'm not gonna say slaughter because I don't think it will be a huge slaughter, but I think that they are gonna beat the Chargers by a lot. I hope not. I pray that my Chargers, please. If we win one game this season, I want it to be against the Seahawks. Excuse me, just for the simple fact that they're so hyped up from everybody. Everybody's talking how good they are. So if we win one game, I hope it's this game, but I did not see it happening. I think the Seahawks are going to win this game. I'm sorry to say. Please prove me wrong, Chargers, please. But yeah, Seahawks. Next game is Texans and Raiders. The Raiders just lost against the Jets, which I knew that was going to happen, but it was more of a close game than I anticipated. The Texans, like I said, beat the Redskins when I didn't think that they were going to. So yeah, I don't know, with J.J. Watt, I think J.J. Watt's going to pressure Carr a lot. I think the Raiders will do pretty good. I think Carr will throw a couple touchdowns, and then they might get maybe a field goal also, and maybe a touchdown with running. But I think the Texans are going to be play. And you know what? No, I'm actually going to pick the Raiders for this game. Now that I'm just going to say anything about it, I'm going to go out with the. I'm going to pick the Raiders for this game, sadly, because my Chargers I think are going to go 0-2, and then the Raiders are going to. I think that they will win this game. So yeah, I'm going to pick the Raiders for this game. Next game is Jets and Packers. Jets, like I said, beat the Raiders, but it wasn't really anything spectacular. They didn't play super good. The Packers played pretty good against the Seattle defense. So Packers are home, and I don't know if Lacey's going to be back, but their other running backs, I think his name's like Starks. He did pretty good. I'm not pretty sure. I forgot his name. Sorry. But yeah, I don't think Lacey will play this game, but they still got Aaron Rodgers, Cobb. They still got some pretty, very, very good players, so I think that they are going to win this game against the Jets. Next game, Chiefs and Denver. Broncos were slaughtering the Colts in the beginning, but then the Colts were coming back like they did against the Chiefs in the playoffs and won. But the Chiefs, they didn't look impressive at all. So, with that said, I'm going to go with the Broncos. I think the Broncos are going to beat them by a lot. Maybe not too much, but I still think that they're going to beat them by a lot. Next game, Bears and 49ers. If that game was just complete luck by the Bills, and the Bears are still a very good team, like how they were last year. Last year they were a pretty good team. They were neck to neck with the Packers. The Packers still pulled the playoff victory against them. So yeah, this game I think is going to be very close. But the 49er fans and the 49ers are happy that they beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys have one of the worst defenses in the NFL, especially because they just lost their best player, and the offense did ass, and they're still kind of climbing back up against them at the end. So I really don't see the 49ers doing all that great this year. The 49ers did play pretty good football against the Cowboys, but again, that's just the Cowboys. I'm sorry, Cowboys fans, but they're not doing very good right now. The Cowboys need to sit down and strategize a little bit, because what they're doing is not good on defense or offense. Romo needs to be a little more patient. He was just slinging a lot of those out, and that's why he got 3 interceptions. He needs to be a little more patient, let everybody run their routes. So, with this game, I think the Bears will, I'll say, surprise a lot of people, just for the fact that the 49ers are probably in favorite to a lot of people for this game, but I think the Bears will win this game. Then the very last game is on a Monday, September 15th, is Eagles at the Colts. The Colts were sleeping, maybe. I don't know if the Jets or the Jaguars were a very good team, or are a very good team. They just got dumped. They just did ass at the end. I don't know, but the Eagles wasn't really playing all that good in the first half, and they are going to be away for this game, so I don't really see. The Colts weren't really doing all that good in the beginning, but they were, like I said, they're climbing back up, and against the Broncos defense, which is a decently high-powered defense. They have a lot of playmakers on that defense. So, with that said, I'm going to go with the Colts' game. They are home. They have a lot of advantages over the Eagles. So, yeah, there's my pick, everybody. Tell me what you think in the description. I hope I do a whole lot better this game. Me and my cousin are having a competition with who picks like the most wins out of the whole entire season. So yeah, I hope I do a whole lot better this season. I think he only got like 1 or 2 more picks ahead of me last week. So yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Again, tell me what you think in the description. And alright, see you later.